do is gonna work. I tried to feel bad.
Mexicans don't like blacks because I was talking to Mexicans. I said, why y'all don't like black people? He said, black people, we're quick to turn on each other. You know what I mean? He said, when a Mexican come in, like he might be touching kids. We criticize you before you come through the door. And he said, that's why I don't deal with
The coast ICE agents going city to city, sometimes door to door, tracking down the nearly one.
Look, I said from day one, no one's off the table.
The Trump administration setting out to execute what it has promised.
We arrested 1,300 people, over 1,000.
The Daily Read, your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
I feel bad for the brown people who thought they were better than black people, who are now facing deportation. I feel bad for the white women who didn't realize they were the real DEI hires and were gonna lose their job. I feel bad for Columbia and Emory and Johns Hopkins losing $300, $400, and $800 million, but HBCUs ain't never had that kind of money. I feel bad for the Tesla dealerships that gotta close because they lost $900 billion since December because they forgot it ain't electricity, it's people that power this nation. I feel bad for them.
Pastor Roasting Session. Well, today on the Daily Read, I want to welcome you to the Daily Read, actually. But today on the Daily Read, we're going to ask the question, is Trump deportation policies inadvertently helping Black America? That's the question for the day. And I want you to leave comments if you can. If you're listening to me on iHeartRadio, leave comments. If you listen to me on YouTube, leave comments. What do you think? I don't think that Donald Trump is helping us on purpose. It's a bigoted, it's some bigotry behind it. But is it inadvertently helping us? Do you feel more money's in your pocket now because they're deporting all the Mexicans? And this calls back to a story that my cousin told me when they had the pandemic. He said in the Hispanic neighborhoods, once they found out that the coronavirus was affecting black people mostly, and whites and Hispanics too, but mostly black people, they didn't want you coming into the stores or the neighborhoods. And most of these neighborhoods are ghost towns now. So what that tells me is that these neighborhoods were mostly illegal immigrants. But they didn't want you to come around their area. Before we get into the social part of it, we're going to talk about the economic part of it. Because there's a certain amount of economics that can only go around to so many people. And here in America, we already know that Caucasians have most of the wealth in this country. So if the Caucasians have most of the wealth in this country, and we know this, everybody else is fighting over scraps. And then when you add the illegal immigrant aspect of it into the mix, they're not taking white people resources. Think about that for a second. These immigrants that come here aren't taking white people resources. They're partying with the white people. And I'm going to talk about that when I get to the social aspect of deportation. Because a lot of these Mexicans really don't like us. A lot of these Mexicans are flat out racist. The economic part of it. Let's talk about that for a second. Some of these people come here and in a matter of a year, they have businesses, they have vehicles, they have housing. Now for that first year, mind you, and this is not a racist rant. This is not me being bigoted towards illegal immigrants. I don't give a damn who comes here to America. It's not going to affect me and my economics at all, because I'm gonna get money. But there are people out there who make under $100,000 a year, including me. And those people that make under $100,000 a year, they're fighting over scraps in the neighborhoods of America. So if they fighting over scraps, is Donald Trump's policies helping us? The money can only stretch so far in America before it runs out. Before the government, matter of fact, the government is already saying enough is enough with the free handouts. So if the government's already saying enough is enough, that's really going to affect everybody. Majority minorities. It all boils down to economics. Social issues also, but mostly economics. Who's going to go out into those fields and pluck those oranges off the trees? This reminds me of a story when me and my uncle came down from Chicago. We worked at a day labor and we wanted to get some quick cash, you know, for housing and things like that. So we went to a day labor. Excuse my phone, my camera's out of focus. Hold on for a second. This is when you're self-funded and you're not backed by major corporations. Okay, we're back. So back to my story. So me and my uncle, when we came down from Chicago, we worked for a day labor company. You know, they got the manpower, the day labor. And even back then, before immigration got so bad, it was crews of Mexicans standing out there. I didn't see no white guys. I didn't see no black guys except for me and my uncle. And that's because we had just moved to the South and we needed some quick cash. Who's going to go out to these people's farms and pluck those oranges off the trees? Everything boils down to economics. I got a feeling that sending these Mexicans back and these Guatemalans and South Americans, I got a feeling it's more to it than meets the eye, because it's a pattern forming here. We already know about the pattern of Mexicans and Hispanics coming here and not dealing with black people. That's on the social issue, because a lot of them people have deep ingrained racism in them already. And we're going to talk about the social issue part of it in a minute. But on the economic scale, a lot of farmers are going to lose out. A lot of Hispanic businesses, I'm talking about American Hispanics, is going to lose business. So is Trump deportation policy helping minorities inadvertently? I don't think he's doing it on purpose. Let's get that straight and clear. But is it helping us? Let's get into the show.
The business,
The Daily Read, your source for
3, 4. Until I remember the words of that black sister.
Because I was talking to Mexicans, I said, why y'all don't like black people? He said, black people, we're quick to turn on each other. You know what I mean? He said, when a Mexican come in, like we in jail, and he showed me. He said, let's sit right here and watch. So they bring new people in. He said, watch this. When a Mexican come in, other Mexicans run to the door, help him with his bag. When a white guy come in, white people go out there, help him out, get him situated. When a black person come in, all the black people sit back and say, that nigga might be a snitch, or he might be touching kids. We criticize you before you come through the door. And he said, that's why I don't deal with black people.
Promises kept with...
I didn't want to go into the social issue part of the show just yet. But I got to touch on something Woody said. And I've seen this myself personally. Because I was incarcerated. And I hung out with Mexicans. I was in one of the worst riots in USP history down in Texas. And not one Mexican touched me because I ran with them. It was a green light on every black man on the yard. They stuck together like glue. What Woody is saying is accurate. What you can't control, you get rid of. Make this clear. Understand what I'm saying. If you can't control the Mexicans, you got to get rid of them. This is why white people are getting rid of Mexicans and some blacks. Because we have what you call gatekeepers. This is some serious business, and I want people on iHeartRadio to really close your eyes and pay attention to what I'm saying. We in the black community have what you call gatekeepers. And I'm not finna sit here and just say Oprah's a gatekeeper. I'm not finna sit here and say P. Diddy's a gatekeeper. I'm not finna say all multimillionaire blacks are gatekeepers. They're not. What I am saying is, you got different levels of black gatekeepers. You got the rich gatekeepers that directly mess with the white people. And then you got the poor gatekeepers in the communities like Big U. Later on, I'm going to talk about Big U. If you look at Big U and all the people that got arrested with him, if you look at their mug shots, these look like normal, average black people in the community. They don't look like gang members because the gangs in the black community have evolved. The leaders are gatekeepers now. You got the wealthy black gatekeepers, and then you got the gang banging leaders of the gangs who are in society hanging with the rich gatekeepers, and they suppressing the masses of black people. You can't do that to the Mexicans. What I'm trying to say is, you got Latino gatekeepers. Close your eyes and listen to me. We on talk radio time now. You got Latino gatekeepers, but they're Latino American gatekeepers. You can't gatekeep the Mexicans. Them people come here with a plan. They come here with their wives. They cross that border. They have danger. Their wives probably suck somebody's penis just to get over here. Right in front of them. Sometimes their wives get raped right in front of them. And they don't do nothing because they want to get here. You got to understand how serious this is with these people. So when they get here, they automatically know white people got the power. Black people are nothing unless you're a gatekeeper. So what the Mexicans do when they get here, they create their own communities and just hang with each other and keep all the blacks out. But they're taking our resources. It's a pattern. You might see a Mexican girl with a white guy because she knows where the power is in this country. It's very rare that you see a Mexican woman with a black guy. You will see it, but it's rare. You see, in the black community, white people have already established gatekeepers. In the black community, white people have already established a pecking order. Women are at top in the black community. Women are at the top in the black community. They get all the resources. They get all the college funding. And everything else trickles down to the rest of us. And those resources come through the gatekeepers. And they hand it out to the women. So they control us through our women. You can't do the Mexicans like that. Because the Mexican women are going to tell you to fuck off. They just crossed the border with this man. Through thick and thin. Could have got killed. You can't control the Mexicans through gatekeepers. So what you can't control, you get rid of. You do away with it. You send them back. And the reason why you send them back is because if black men starting to realize now, I've been here all my life. This man just crossed the border 2 years ago and he got a taco stand. He got a restaurant. He got a wife and kids. And I'm still here struggling with a bimbo telling me I need to make over $100,000. And I know that man ain't making $100,000. How the fuck is he getting all these resources? He's taking them from us. So I asked the question again, people. Is Donald Trump's deportation policy inadvertently helping us black people? Let's get back into the show.
President Trump taking immediate action on his top campaign focus, fighting illegal immigration. From coast to coast, ICE agents going city to city, sometimes door to door, tracking down the nearly 1.5 million undocumented set for deportation. And as ICE closes in on migrants, once vibrant Chicago neighborhoods are now turning into ghost towns. And tonight we are taking you to a neighborhood that has gone silent.
Remember what I said earlier about my cousin in Chicago telling me during the time of the pandemic, Mexicans would chase blacks out of their neighborhoods. Like, get off from over here. You don't belong over here. You can't even stop in your car and go into a Mexican store and buy some candy. They will jump you. Because they didn't want blacks over there. This is a real thing.
Like I said from day one, no one's off the table.
The Trump administration setting out to execute what it has promised.
We arrested 1,300 people. Over 1,000 of them were criminals.
Immigration and customs enforcement operations reportedly underway.
Now, I will say he's a liar. I do not believe, because I know Mexicans. And those are some hard-working people. I will give them that. Not all Mexicans are flat-out criminals. He's a liar. he's saying that to ease the pressure of what the Trump administration is doing. A lot of these Mexicans are hard-working men and women, hard-working. But the fact of the matter is they're taking our resources and trying to treat us like white people treated us in the 60s. They try to treat us like second-hand citizens. And we actual citizens, and you're not.
In jurisdictions all across the nation, federal agents have been spotted in many sanctuary cities carrying out these operations.
I hope the sanctuary cities come around.
The usually bustling and vibrant streets of this Hispanic neighborhood in Chicago sit relatively empty because of the concerns over ICE.
Welcome to Mesquite Restaurant, sir.
This little taqueria, like most in the Pilsen neighborhood, is owned and operated by immigrants. The Cruz family, who in 1994 made the long journey from Mexico City to Chicago to grow their little taco stand into a thriving restaurant.
So a lot of people don't know is that Mexico is bordered with Guatemala.
Yes.
Okay? We don't let them in. So the same thing that America does to Mexico, we do to Guatemala. Okay? It just, the news is CNN, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, New York Post, they're never going to show you that. Just so you know, Mexico is extremely racist. So we have what are like Guatemalans, even to its own Mexicans. So you got to remember, Mexico was dominated by the Spaniards. The only reason I look the way I look is because I'm 65% Spaniard.
Yeah.
Mexicans, like real Mexicans, or which is known as Mexica, not Mexico, Mexica, are 5'4", super dark with big noses and the heads pushed back. Aztecs and Mayans.
Like Indians.
Like Indians.
Yes.
Well, we're natives, right? So we're blended. So the reality is in Mexico, till this day, if you are not light complected, somewhat tall, you're frowned upon. To this day. And by the way, they're very...
The bids?
I wanted to talk about the social part of it now. Let's talk about the social part of it now. We got the economics out the way. They come over here and they're taking our resources. Okay? The social part of it, what little Woody was talking about. You see a lot of these Venezuelans, Guatemalans, Brazilians, they come here, and a lot of these people that come here, they look almost white. That don't mean that there are not black Brazilians. That don't mean that there are not black Mexicans. I know a Mexican that's called Negro. He's one of my homeboys. He's black as hell. He's darker than me. And his nickname is Negro. And what I'm trying to say is, on the social issue, those people come here and immediately they identify white. Point blank, period. If you go to their country as a passport bro, they will love you because you're spending American dollars. $100 worth of American money is 5,000 pesos. Let me say that again for some of you guys who thinking about traveling. 100 American dollars is 5,000 pesos. So when you go to them other countries, they love you to death. But try to speak to one of them in this country, they gonna act like they don't speak English. The whole time they speak, most of the people that come here are bilingual. I'm not saying all, but the vast majority of Mexicans, Venezuelans, Cubans, the vast majority of them people that come here are not backwood, ignorant, non-speaking Hispanics. Stop it. They speak English. It might be broken English. They might speak their language a whole lot better, but you keep forgetting I've been around them. I know they speak English. Their English is choppy, but they can understand. That's the main reason why they came across the border. The Mexicans who can't really speak English, most of them don't come over here. I'm talking about the down home, backwood Mexicans living in the La Casas. They can't speak English. They ain't trying to come here. It's the ones that got a little bit of English education, that can understand you a little bit, might not understand you all the way. Them the ones that come here, and most of them are partially white. The Mexican man just explained it to you. He's 65%. He's 65% Spanish. I know what real Mexicans look like. I told you I got a homeboy named Negro. I got a homeboy named Spanky. I got a homeboy named Lil Spanky. I got a homeboy named Monkey Man. All of that. These are real Mexicans. 5'4", 5'3", look like little midgets. Dark skin, almost black as me. The white Mexicans are taller. The white Mexicans that you normally see in the businesses and stuff, they like 5'11", 6 foot. They got a little Spanish mixed in their blood. Spaniards. Those are the real racist ones, because they on the borderline between Hispanic, white. They on the borderline between looking almost white, but they Mexicans. So they gon' immediately don't want to deal with you, because they want to identify with white people. So I asked the question again. Is this policy helping us? And which one of you are going to go out in them fields? I'm not seeing black people line up to go pick cotton. I'm not seeing black people line up to go pick squash, strawberries and oranges and apples. I'm not seeing that. Not hearing about it, not seeing it. Me and my uncle in the 90s went and worked on a man's farm. I like to tear that man crop up, because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm from the city. First time ever in a damn field. I'm out there trying to take the grass out from up in between the... Some of you country guys that listen to me on iHeartRadio, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say chop cotton. It's where you take a hoe and you take the weeds off in between the cotton. I didn't know the difference. Some of y'all country boys probably laughing at me right now. I get it. But I didn't know the difference. So I'm going through there chopping up the man's crop, and the man started yelling, "Hey man, you tearing up my crop." I'm thinking all this shit out here is weeds. I don't know what this stuff is. And this is what I mean when I say, who in black America is going to line up to go out there? Nobody. Who finna line up to be somebody's housemaid? I know my sisters ain't. My sisters don't even like clean up their own damn house. The hell they gonna go be somebody's maid for? Washing somebody else's toilets. How many of you sisters are signing up for that? And this is not me denigrating Mexicans for the job and work that they do. But these people know that they're illegal immigrants. They come in and just take anything, man. I need to get them American dollars, because they make it stretch. They don't eat steak and potatoes and mashed potatoes and corn. And their meals ain't like that. They can go get some hamburger meat, some seasoning, some tortilla shells, stuff that don't cost nothing. This stuff don't cost hardly no money, and feed their whole family with it. and all of them going to bed satisfied and full, and the father is going to get up and go to work in the field picking oranges the next day. This is what they do. So I ask you again, is this policy helping us, or is it hurting America? I want to stick to the social issue part of it, because I've seen videos where a lot of these Mexicans and Hispanics and Venezuelans, they're asking us for help. Help you do what? You don't like us. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes of why the Trump administration, via the white people of America, is getting rid of the Mexicans. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of that. This goes back to the social issues. You got to understand, a lot of the people that's running the government today are immigrants themselves. They know the power of immigrants. I talked about this on previous shows. How the Italians and the Jews and the Germans came here through Ellis Island. White people. They stayed in the slums right next to us. They didn't like us neither. Guess who that sounds like? The Mexicans. What happened 50, 60, 70 years later? Those white immigrants are running the country now. The Schwartzes, the McConaughey's from Ireland, family ancestry from Ireland, the McDonoghues. You don't see no Beauregards no more. That's a jab at that's a jab at Trump's first Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. Jeffrey Beauregard Sessions. That's his. I found out that was his middle name. I automatically knew he was from Mississippi or Alabama. Automatically. When I heard the name Beauregard, I knew he was a down home, down south country boy from either Mississippi, Alabama, or Georgia. I knew it. He was from down there somewhere. But them not the people that's running the country anymore. A lot of them people died out because of the Great Depression. A lot of those people that was around during slavery, that had these big families, that had hundreds of slaves, a lot of those people fell off bad during the Great Recession. And guess who rose up to take their place? Immigrants. The Italian immigrants, the Jewish immigrants, the German immigrants, the Russian immigrants. Those are the people that's running this country now. Those are the people that's seeing the danger from the Mexicans. These people are looking ahead. They're not doing this to help black people. Don't get this confused. It might be inadvertently helping us because we don't have to fight so hard for resources when he get rid of all the illegals. Those ghost town neighborhoods that she was talking about, those landlords are going to start renting to black people now. What I'm trying to tell you is, the people that's running the government, if you listen to my show, like I know some of you are starting to do, because my numbers are picking up. If you listen to my show, you will understand. The people that's running the government are mostly Italian whites, Jewish whites, You can see them running up and down the hallway of Congress with the yarmulkes on. These are not your down South Georgia boys that's running Congress now. These are bigoted Italianos. And they know the danger of immigration because they did it. They did it themselves. They took this country over themselves. Who was Mussolini? I'm finna take it there for all my intelligent people to listen to me. Mussolini was an Italian. And he backed up Hitler. Who was Hitler? Hitler was the leader of Germany who tried to exterminate the Jews. All of these people got hatred and bigotry in their heart. But it's different from the Southern slave bigotry because it's well hidden. You see, the Southern Belle racism was to your face. You know, you're a nigger, to your face. That was the Southern way. Those people are gone. Now you got the immigrant way with their racism. It's subtle. It's not in your face. They work through their gatekeepers. You might see a rich black man sitting in the skybox with an Italian with his hair slicked back. You know, they're all yucking it up, smiling. The whole time, the Italian guy don't like black people. He'll fool around with this black person because he know this black person right here, his name might be Big U, the leader of the Crips, or Big L, or whatever. He got him a gatekeeper. This black person smiling in his face is going to suppress the other blacks. Keep them from showing up at his basketball games, causing trouble. As long as I give him, you know, $10,000, $20,000, that money never reaches the hood niggas. That money never reaches them. But he's going to make sure that they don't come up here causing ruckus. And when he get back to the hood, he going to tell all the Crips, the Bloods, or whatever gang he runs with, listen, man, don't go down there causing no problems with Mr. Telemundo's gymnasium. I know y'all Crips like to go down there. I know y'all Bloods like to go down there. I know y'all, you know, GDs and Vice Lords like to go down there, hang out and drink. Don't be causing no problems down there. The whole time, they ain't got a dime. The black gatekeepers ain't gave them a dime. He might give them a sack of weed or something, you know, party with them sometimes. But he making millions. This is where the term gatekeeper come from. And I'm asking some of you young black brothers that watch my show, how many of y'all have ever gotten rich off of a gang or organization that got anything black attached to it? How many of y'all done got rich off that shit? None of you. A select few. I looked at that picture of Big U when he got arrested with 14 other people, and I really paid attention to that video. My uncle told me a long time ago, because my uncle was in the gang. He said, nephew, don't get all these tattoos, man, because you're going to be marked for the rest of your life. I noticed something about that. The upper echelon of gangland, They wear business suits. They got government funds coming in for their charities. They get themselves involved in charities. Giving out toys for tots. Giving out hams for Christmas. Hams and turkeys for Thanksgiving. Smiling in everybody's face. The whole time they gatekeepers. They still got their hands tied in the gangs. You can't do that to the Mexicans. So what you do with somebody or a group of people that you can't control? You get rid of them. That's the reason why the Trump administration is doing this. Number one, they already know that immigrants can be dangerous because they did it. It took them 60 years, it took them almost 100 years. But the immigrants of the 30s, the immigrants of the 20s, during the Great Depression era, they took this country. They are the ones running this country right now. Not the Beauregards down here in Tennessee and Mississippi on the plantation. Not them. We already know about them racist white people. We already know about them. They don't even give us no problems no more. You know why? Because we'll beat their ass. They know it. So it's like in the South, it's like we know you racist. So we kind of deal with each other. But this new breed in Congress, the Italianos, this is something that just happened like in the last 60, 70 years. This is a whole new breed of white racist people calling themselves Republicans. Y'all ain't seeing the pattern? The reason why some of y'all don't see the pattern, because you ain't paying attention to history. Go back and watch some of those old. Sometimes I do that. I get off into my my spells. I call them spells, where I get involved in documentaries. I might get involved in weightlifting for 2 or 3 months. I get into my spells, and sometimes when I get into a spell of watching documentaries, sometimes I go back and watch those old black and white films of the 20s and 30s, and you can see it. Them white people are not the same white people that's in Congress. The people that's in Congress, the man who's in the presidency, he's a German. He's a second-generation immigrant. He wasn't here. His forefathers wasn't here on no plantation. He don't know nothing about that. He still has racism and bigotry. But he don't know nothing about the slavery type stuff. That's why blacks can deal with him a little bit, because he can fake it a little more. The plantation whites, they ain't never faked it. They don't want you around. They ain't never faked it. I respect that even more than I respect the whole Donald Trump and all the new Republicans. Because at least the Southerners is telling you to your face, I don't like you because you black. They're not doing little sneaky shit with the paperwork, with the congressional paperwork, like the new Republicans are doing. Those whites are straight up tell you, I don't like you. That way you can tell them back, I don't like you neither. And then y'all can go y'all separate ways. It's mutual. You can't do that with these new age whites, because I keep telling you, these are second generation immigrants themselves. They know the danger of these Mexicans. Look at Tom Cruise. Look at the other clown from Florida. I keep forgetting his name. The one that Donald Trump was talking about, sweating all the time. They pass for white, but they're not white. Them guys are Hispanics. I hope I got the message out to you guys. It's been on my mind all week. I was thinking about doing a show on this, talking about the pattern that I've seen with not only the Mexicans that come here and the Latinos that come here, how they gravitate towards white people. They know where the power is. But I also seen the pattern in the white Republicans that's running this country. They're immigrants themselves, and they're trying to eliminate a threat. Black people ain't no threat to them, because I've already said, if you pay attention, they got the gatekeepers for that. They got prison and they got the gatekeepers, and they got women pumping millions of dollars into our women. They got us out the way. And then when you add in the church on top of that, the black church keeping us pacified, we have so much shit going on with us. White people ain't even worried about us, but they can't control the Mexicans. Whenever you see a Mexican come here, and within 2 years he has a store, a brand new Dodge Ram sitting in his driveway, his kids go to a better school than your kids go to, that's a problem. This is the Daily Read, and I'm out.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Business.